What do you have here?
Well, we have some turn-of-the-century mosaics from, we believe, 1889. These are just detailed photographs because they were way too big to bring here. These are about 15 feet wide
Oh my gosh.
by 8 feet high, and they're on about 6 inches of concrete.
Whew, I don't blame you for not bringing them in. Now, I don't want to say size matters, but my interest is already piqued.
We have Columbus discovering America and then Columbus giving America to Queen Isabel. And some of the pieces in there are about the size of a sesame seed. So these end up looking like paintings, even though there's millions of pieces in here.
How did you get these mosaics?
Well, they came from Columbus Hospital in Chicago, and my grandpa and my father got the contract to restore these mosaics. And then the hospital was going to be demolished, so they said to us to come pick them back up. And then we've had them for about 40 years now.
They just never asked for them again.
Right.
And have you ever had them analyzed further? Had anyone look at them?
No.
I'm going to take a flyer on these mosaics. The pictures alone are spectacular. I have to see them in person.
And welcome everybody to the Kiosk Presents here in Buffalo and Western New York. You know, when you think of treasures, you think of a treasure chest and pirates and coins and all that, but you know there's all kinds of treasure. And we have with us today a treasure hunter. She's the host of the National Geographic program, America's Lost Treasures, Wednesdays at 10 p.m. Everybody, here she is, Kinga Phillips. Kinga, welcome to the Kiosk Presents.
Good morning. I really like being introduced as a treasure hunter. That's nice.
Ooh. I made that up just for you.
I love it.
Okay, and you can take it. It's yours.
Perfect. Done.
All right. Wonderful. Now, for those who haven't seen the show, tell us all about what goes on in the show America's Lost Treasures.
Well, the show is basically based on the premise that our nation's history is so young, that it is entirely possible that people in this great nation of ours, in their basements and attics and their backyards, have items that are incredibly significant to our nation's history. Some are worth a fortune. Some just have a great story for our nation's history. Some have a great story for them personally, but it is all fascinating, and some are just incredibly interesting.
So what's the benefit? Like, now you travel to the different cities and encourage people to bring what they feel is a treasure, maybe a rediscovered treasure that reflects America's history. And what's the benefit to them other than maybe a little adulation and a pat on the back?
Well, you're absolutely right. My co-host Kurt Dowsett and I traveled to 10 cities across the country, and people brought in their items, and then we would go out, we would pick a few to investigate further, we would do authentication and research, and then we would come in, and we had a representative from National Geographic helping us make the final decision, and the winner each week receives $10,000, and their item goes on display at the National Geographic Museum in Washington, D.C. for 1 year, and then they get it back.
That is pretty exciting. Awesome.
Yes.
Okay, I love it. Okay, now, so far in your travels as a treasure hunter, what's the most exciting treasure that's sort of been rediscovered?
Oh my gosh, that is a tough question. You know, there are some incredible things that we have yet to unveil on the show.
Okay.
There are, 13,000-year-old stone bowls coming in from Catalina, megalodon teeth, items from the Civil War, from, the Gold Rush, the Transcontinental Railroad. We have items that are so significant in our nation's history. And then we have really cool and strange items like voodoo drums coming in from New Orleans, books bound out of human skin, pieces of Willie Nelson's hair that, someone thought was just a treasure, and to them it was.
Well, in Buffalo, we have a rich history with the beginnings of our country, and presidents spoke at luncheons here in the late early 1900s, okay? So there are some great treasures here in Buffalo. Might you ever visit Buffalo?
I think we're going to have to. There are a lot of places in this country that we have yet to visit, so we might see you there.
Well, we have a national treasure here, It's called the original Buffalo chicken wing. I don't know if you know that.
That sounds fantastic.
So you'd have to visit that when you visit Buffalo. But let's talk a little bit about the lady, Kinga Phillips. Now, I know that you're an actress. You're born in Poland.
Yeah.
Boy, you sound so American, but you're Polish-American, right?
I am. I'm a Polish Okie. Born in Warsaw, Poland, grew up in Bartlesville, Oklahoma.
Wonderful. And I know that you're an actress, and you've had some very explosive parts on TV, haven't you?
Very explosive, yes. I'm guessing you're referring to Austin Powers and Goldmember, where I exploded in a car. Yeah, I gotcha.
They should have given you more lines before,
There were. They got cut. All I did was explode.
Well, anyway, so what do we have to look forward to? You say there's a lot of, I mean, in the future shows and all that. Is there some real powerhouse type things that sort of get, I like to use the term get rediscovered?
They do get rediscovered. And like I said, there are items that are so historically significant that really make history personal, which I think is what is so exciting and fascinating about this program. There are also personal stories that people come in with. You know, people shed tears on our show. And the characters who we meet along the way, the stories they have to tell, it is all interesting, fascinating. You will laugh and you will cry.
Well, let me ask you this then. If you, I know they bring in things that are of maybe a treasure to them.
Right.
What would be, and not to make fun of anybody, but something that was sort of, and not the silliest, I don't want to say this, but what was the thing that you said, wow, I can't believe this would be a treasure, they would think this is a treasure. Is there something that, I mean, I read something about the pink flamingo head.
Yes, there was a taxidermied pink flamingo head. You know, my background is in journalism, so I am always fascinated with the people and the stories. And I would never make fun of anyone for thinking that something is a treasure because, you know, one man's trash is another man's treasure, and to them it might be something incredibly significant. But we did have items like taxidermied pink flamingo heads, a stuffed penguin coming in, and, you know, I still want to sit down and I want to hear their story, and I want to know why they think it is so fascinating and significant, and it might truly have a great story. Is it going to end up in a museum? Probably not, but it's still fun to see.
I would have said to the person with the stuffed penguin, I would have said, why don't polar bears eat penguins?
And what is the answer to that?
They live on opposite ends of the world, okay? They can't, I see. So here's the point.
Well done.
Penguins aren't even from America, my goodness. So how can they, but that's cute. I like that. Anyway, I love penguins, so I hate to see one stuffed. But
well, this one smelled like fish.
All right. So anyway, so the show runs now. This is the first season.
It is
right?
the first season.
Okay. How's it looking? Are we going to be able to see more next year? You think? Is it looking good?
Hey, fingers and toes crossed. That's how this business works. We hope so.
All right. Well, it's been wonderful having you here. A lot of people in Buffalo tell me they've already seen the show. They're looking forward to future episodes. I'll be watching Wednesday night, 9 p.m. National Geographic Channel, America's Lost Treasures with host King of Phillips. Now everyone's met a real-life treasure hunter, and here she is. And thank you so much for joining us here in Buffalo on the Kiosk Presents.
Thank you so much.
So, Catherine,
Kinga,
this is Gunnar Grenke, and here are photos of these incredible mosaics that he was unable to bring in because they are massive and fabulous in every sense of the word. These were done in the famous Venetian Murano glass for the 1893 World's Fair commemorating Columbus discovering America. So you have these two beautiful panels depicting these amazing historical portrayals of Columbus landing in the New World, Columbus and Isabella's court. They were placed in this building, which was then demolished. And after that, everyone thought they were lost. So they have been sitting with you for nearly 40 years until we had our expert come in and take a look and say, I know exactly what these are. I know what they mean historically. They're absolutely amazing. And in person, they are mind-blowing.
nice story. Good work.
Thank you.